So welcome everybody to this latest video on 162 Maths. In this video we'll be doing another topic test on the higher syllabus and continuing with Pythagoras and trigonometry. Now there will be a copy of the questions that we go through in the description below for you to download and have an attempt at before watching this video and going through the answers. So let's get started on this Pythagoras theorem and basic trig test 2. Now in terms of looking at the very first question, it says what we need to do is use this diagram. Now with this particular diagram, it can be very confusing, and where a lot of errors were made is because of the triangle has been relabeled. Now typically when you're asked to label a triangle using Pythagoras, you want to label the longest side first, label that C, and the other two sides A and B. However, with this particular triangle, it's already been relabeled, so we need to work with this exact triangle. We can't relabel anything, we just need to interpret what the actual answer would have been had we been able to. So looking at the very first question, it says circle the correct formula, and we've got 4 potential options. Now here A is our longest side, so we're looking for A squared, and we're looking for C squared plus B squared. Now in terms of which one is that one, well, it's going to be our 4th option. For question 2, it says circle the correct formula, and this time we're using sine. So sine x is going to be the opposite over hypotenuse. So x is here, so the side that's opposite is C, and the hypotenuse is A. So we're going to be looking for sine x equals C over A, which is our 2nd option. Then moving on to our 3rd question, it says circle the correct formula. So we've got tan y, so here we've got tan, let me just get a different colour, and this time we're looking for tan. Now tan y is opposite over the adjacent, so if we're using y, the side that's opposite y is B, and the side that's adjacent is going to be C. So what we're looking for is we're looking for tan y equals B over C, which is our 2nd option again. Now moving on to question 4, it says ADC is a straight line, and it's asking us to work out the angle of y. Now for this, what we need to do is just use a few double stages of looking at trig. So the first thing I want to do is find out what x is. So for this, what we need to do first is we're going to take this triangle. So we just redraw this triangle, and I've got 35, I've got x, and I've got 10. So in terms of labeling the sides of this is my hypotenuse, this is the adjacent, so I'm going to be using cos 35 equals x over 10. So x equals 10 times cos 35, in which I get an answer of x equals roughly around about 8.19. So then if x equals 8.19, then 2x, if I get this second triangle, and let's just draw that here, and this is y, and this is going to be 2 lots of 8.19, and this length here is 19. So labeling that triangle, I've got the opposite, I've got the hypotenuse, I don't know why I've got an O there, and I've got my angle. So here I'm going to use sine, so it's going to be sine y equals, and it's going to be 2 times 8.19 all divided by 19. And then if I do the inverse sine of that, so the inverse sine of the answer, or here I'm just going to write 8.199 all divided by 19 equals y. I get an answer of y as being, and let's just quickly type that into my calculator. So I've got inverse sine of 2 times 8.19 divided by 19, and it gives me an answer of 59.55 37899. So I'm just going to call this as y equals 59.6 degrees to 1 decimal place. Then moving on to question 5, it says that you're given that cos 30 times cos 45 equals root a over b. Work out the values of the integers of a and b. So in terms of this, what we need to recognize is the exact values of trig. So here we know that cos 30 is equal to root 3 over 2, and cos 45 is 1 over root 2. And so what we need to do is to simply combine these two and make the answer look like this. So here I'm going to have root 3 over 2 root 2. And then if we take this 2 inside, that then becomes a 4. So I've got root 3 over root 8. So here then that then becomes the square root of 3 over 8. So here a equals 3 and b equals 8. Then moving on to question 6, it says work out the area of this triangle. Now for this what we need to do is use Pythagoras, because obviously to work out the area my two options are either using half AB sine C or base times height divided by 2. Now because I don't know what any of the interior angles are apart from that 90 degrees, I'm just going to go for using this formula here. Now I know that the perpendicular height is 8, but I don't know what the base is, so I need to use Pythagoras to work out what this b is going to be. So here I've got b equals, or b squared equals 17 squared minus 8 squared. So b squared is going to equal, I'll just type that into my calculator, I get an answer of 225. So b equals 15. And then from this I can then work out what the area is. So the area is the base, which is 8, times the height, which is 8, times the base, which is 15, all divided by 2. So 8 times 15 is 120, and 120 divided by 2 is 60. Then moving on to question 7, it says that the diagram shows a plot of land and a fence is built on the perimeter of the land. Fence costs £12.98 per metre. Work out the cost of the building of the fence. So what I need to do is work out what these two sides are going to be. So as it's trapezium, I'm not looking at area, but what I need to do is find out what these lengths here are. Now that's 20. This I'm just going to call X, and this I'm going to call Y, and that's Y as well. So looking at this particular triangle, if I take this triangle out, I know that this length here is 50 and this length is 60, and labeling this triangle up, I've got this is my H, this is my theta, this is my A, and this is my O. So what I need to do is do a couple of steps, work out what these lengths are. Now in terms of this is going to be my A, this is going to be my O in terms of X and Y. So from this what I've got is I'm going to be using, well, to work out what O is, I'm going to be using sine. So I've got sine 60 equals, and it's O over 50. So then here what I've got is I've got 50 times sine 60 equals O, and sine 60 times 50 is 25 root 3. So this length here is 25 root 3. I'm going to leave in third form just for now. And then to work out what A is, I'm going to use cos. So cos 60 equals A over 50. So 50 times cos 60 equals A. So 50 times cos 60 equals 25. And from this I can then work out what the perimeter of this shape is going to be. So here the perimeter is going to be 50 plus 25 plus 20 plus 25 root 3 plus 20. And so if I add up all of those numbers, so 50 plus 25 plus 20 plus 25 root 3, and I should get a final answer, plus 20. I should get an answer of 158.3, and that's in meters. Now I then need to work out the cost of the fence, so I'm going to need about 159. So if I then multiply that by, or the answer by 12.98, I end up with an answer of 2054, and 75 pence. And there is my final answer. Then for question 8, it says, which of the following is true? And then we need to circle our final answer. So again, here we've got which of these is going to be true, and it's our second option in terms of remembering our exact values of trig. And that concludes this second paper on Pythagoras and trig.